Hi, this is Dr. Patrick Cunningham, Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. Welcome back to the Skillful Learning series on metacognition. Recall that metacognition is the knowledge and regulation of our own thinking processes. In this final video, Thinking Back and Thinking Ahead, we will reflect on key metacognitive skills we have explored and consider how we can take them forward with us into our next course, internship, co-op, competition team project, or other learning experience. Becoming a more skilled, effective, and efficient learner is a lifelong pursuit. Even as I prepared these videos, learning about writing scripts, recording and editing videos, and preparing caption files, I have continued to refine my thinking and learning processes. Learning is also a key part of my work as a college professor, as I seek to improve my courses, explore and expand my research, and take on new roles. We continue to learn throughout our lives. Our success and growth is dependent on being attentive to our metacognitive development. The more you engage in cycles of metacognitive growth, the more opportunities and successes you will enjoy. Let's check in with Joe and Sue one last time to see how they are processing their metacognitive experiences and looking to their futures. Joe is doing better with distributing his studying across multiple days, and he is using more varied learning strategies. He finds it challenging to give distraction-free focus to his elephants, those tasks that connect to his big goals. But when he has, he feels more productive. He has come to the realization that he can't do everything and that he has to let some things go, which is hard. He is being more proactive and not just reacting to the latest deadline. He is getting more sleep, 6 to 7 hours a night now. On occasion, he still has a late night to get something done, but it isn't the norm anymore. Joe feels less stressed and more confident. He has noticed that he is better able to recall and use the material he is studying. With sustained practice and effort, Joe is becoming a more skillful learner, and he sees it. He also recognizes that focusing on his metacognitive skills is helping him do better in all his classes. Also, he has more or at least the same time to relax and exercise with friends, but now it feels more guilt-free. During this term, Joe got an offer for a summer internship with a company doing work he is interested in. He is excited and a little nervous. An upperclassman friend who interned at this company told him they give you a project, expect you to complete it on your own, and have you present the results at the end of the summer. What advice could we give Joe? How can his developing metacognitive skills help him? Joe is more aware of how he learns and how learning works in general. He knows different tasks require different ways of thinking, and he has a broader range of strategies. This metacognitive knowledge can help him navigate the internship project more efficiently and effectively, if he draws on it to regulate his thinking. First, we might remind Joe to take time to plan his approach to the project, aligning his approach to the project goals, and identifying appropriate strategies and processes. Next, we can help him strategize how he can monitor his progress as he works on the project, whether or not anyone else is checking in on him. Doing this will help Joe celebrate successes and make adjustments while he still has time. We can also remind Joe of the importance of evaluating his experiences with the project so that he refines his knowledge and processes in the remainder of the project and on future projects. There will be parts of his summer internship project that are familiar, but he will likely have to learn new things in order to complete it. It is important that he recognizes these gaps in his knowledge and that he makes and executes plans for figuring them out. Of course, he also has to believe that he can do it. That is, have a growth mindset. As he fields questions at his final presentation, his level of understanding will become readily apparent, and he will know whether he knows it or has suffered from the illusion of comprehension. He should test himself before this, practicing explaining his work and anticipating questions the audience may have. If Joe does these things, his boss will notice. For example, Joe will be asking good, thoughtful, and substantive questions rather than just asking what he should do next, which demonstrates independence and initiative. Because he has thought things through and sought to overcome his knowledge gaps on his own, he will be able to present reasonable options and ask his boss for input or direction. Joe's regular progress will also be evident as he stays focused on his elephants, ensuring that the main tasks for his project are getting attention each day. His application of his metacognitive skills will leave his boss with a sense of confidence that Joe is doing credible work and can get things done. Admirable qualities. In short, such metacognitive behaviors demonstrate Joe's ownership of his work. If he does these things, he will likely be successful, and they will want him to come back. Sue is less overwhelmed now and is sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night. She was already using some good approaches to her studying, but she has made refinements by using multiple strategies and improving her strategic focus. She has added new elaborative and organizational strategies to her repertoire, consciously aiming to create multiple connections to new information. She is improving her strategic focus by updating her mental habits and taking care of her mental distractions. She focuses on the materials she struggles with and limits time on things she finds easier. Further, she has been working on setting SMART goals for her study sessions so that she stays focused on her elephants. She also finds that these specific and measurable goals help her test herself more objectively, avoiding the illusion of comprehension, and that it is easier to resist getting pulled into working on rabbit tasks for too long. By monitoring herself during study sessions, Sue is spending less time spinning her wheels, that is, being stuck on a problem without making progress. She makes notes of her thoughts and questions to ask the TA or professor. Then she moves on to another problem or other work. She is dealing with her other distractions by eating better, not skipping meals, and she has been seeing a counselor who is helping her work through her emotions and stress related to her family situation. Sue is also becoming a more skillful learner. In the next term, Sue is planning to take a leading role within her competition team, to do analysis on a key part using a new software package. 2 weeks ago, she and a couple team members attended a workshop on the new software. Today, when she opened the program for the first time since the workshop, she realized how much she had already forgotten. What advice can we give Sue? How can her developing metacognitive skills help her? First, we may remind Sue that she needs to practice using the new program regularly and consistently, in the same way she distributes studying for her courses. Waiting 2 weeks to get back to it was too long. Maybe she could schedule time working on it at least every other day. Next, we might help Sue set SMART goals for this project. Working with her team, Sue might decide to target having the analysis working by the end of the next term. She could make this more specific and measurable by specifying that working means their part loads into the software and they're able to run the analysis on one nominal operating condition, which they can verify by simplified calculations and comparisons to data collected on a similar part at the same nominal condition. This would truly let Sue and her team know they have a valid simulation and that they can begin using it to explore a broader operating range and alternate designs. Beyond just practicing with the new software regularly, Sue could also plan a sequence of steps and other strategies to achieve this goal. As a first step, she could plan to rework a couple of tutorials provided with the software that they covered at the workshop, to refamiliarize herself with the program. Then she could build a simple system, one not in a tutorial, for which she can easily compute the expected result. Once this is verified, Sue could build a more complex system, more similar to their actual part, to test any specific tools and features in the software they will need to use. Each step of the way, she will be learning more about the task and the software while reinforcing her access to the knowledge of how to use the software. Completing each step provides natural monitoring points where process refinements can be made. It would be even better for at least one other teammate to do the same things so that they can discuss the problems they encounter and cross-check their work. At this point, they should be ready to tackle setting up and running the simulation with their part. This approach leverages Sue's metacognitive skills, drawing on her metacognitive knowledge and her practice of planning, monitoring, controlling, and evaluating her thinking as she progresses through this project. Developing their metacognitive skills has helped Joe and Sue become more successful and less stressed students. Looking at Joe's internship opportunity and Sue's competition team project, we have seen how their metacognitive skills can help them navigate these professional situations with positive outcomes. Attending to and regulating our thinking and learning works. As we close the Skillful Learning series on metacognition, remember, you are in control of your thinking and learning, regardless of the course, the instructor, or other factors. You can become a more efficient, effective, and intentional learner with focused effort and persistent and regular practice. And becoming a more skillful learner will benefit you now and in your future. I hope you have found the Skillful Learning series on metacognition useful, and that you will enjoy much success as you develop your metacognitive skills. Thank you for watching.